Well. I figured I'd circle the block on a story that happened about Dak Prescott a few days ago. That Dak Prescott said something to, I believe it's the owner of the Los Angeles Rams, that had a lot of people up in arms. Well, I think when you really look at it, Dak Prescott may be on to something that some of us are not paying attention to. Is Dak Prescott really crazy for saying that the Cowboys are going to play the Rams in the NFC Championship game? Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget at the end to please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. So let's talk facts. You know, when you kind of first hear this thing that Dak Prescott says, and we're going to look at the video in here in just a moment. When you first hear what Dak Prescott says, you might think at first hearing that this is crazy to even think this. New coach, new coaches, new players. I mean, so many different things going on with the Cowboys that are new. How in the world could they pull this off just in the first season with Brian Schottenheimer? And I myself believe the Cowboys are one tech and a cornerback away from maybe being close to a championship defense. But nevertheless, I think a part of this is Dak Prescott. One, he believes in himself. Two, I think he believes in Schotty and his team. And three, I think he really believes that George Pickens is going to make that big of a difference. But let's go to number 4. Dak Prescott has absolutely owned the NFC East. First, I want you to hear what Dak Prescott said, or try to make out what he said. And then I'm going to show you the proof of why Dak Prescott, while people may think he's crazy, I think Dak Prescott, once you start to examine this, Dak Prescott may actually be on to something. Let's roll it. It says over here on SportsIllustrated.com, Cowboys in NFC Championship. Dak Prescott says yes. Reality politely disagrees. Dak Prescott predicts Cowboys in NFC Championship against Rams, leaving NFL fans amused, skeptical, and buzzing online. Well, anytime Dak Prescott says anything, people are always buzzing online. But let's read a little bit further into this article, written by Taylor Hodges. Says former Mississippi State quarterback Dak Prescott didn't play in the Dallas Cowboys preseason opener against the Los Angeles Rams, but he still made headlines. Prescott was captured on video and audio speaking to Rams owner Stan Kroenke alongside Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, and said the following. I mean, I'm just going to assume that's kind of what he said there. I really couldn't make it out, but I guess that's what he said. But let's read the rest of the article, because you already know they're going to write this with a slant and cast a doubt. Check it out. Kroenke shook his head as if to say okay, and the two Joneses were smiling. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the funniest thing ever said, I'd rate that at about a 4.8. It's a little funny, but not laugh so hard you cry funny, because making fun of the Cowboys is low-hanging fruit. It says, oh wait, was he being serious? Because that may be even funnier. The Dallas Cowboys and the LA Rams in the NFC Championship this season. Maybe the Rams, but the Cowboys, America's team that hasn't been to an NFC Championship game this millennium. The one in a contract negotiation standoff with a star player again. The one with an owner who thinks he's a good general manager, but really is terrible at it. And the 3 Super Bowls he won are more of a credit to Jimmy Johnson and the players than anything he did. No, sorry, not buying that. I'm not buying what he's saying. I still say Jerry Jones don't get enough credit for being a part of that Super Bowl team. I don't care what percentage you give Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a part of that team winning, is a part of that team winning 3 Super Bowls. And especially when calling Jerry Jones a terrible general manager. Yes, Jerry has done some terrible things, But let's remember, it was Jerry who brought in Deion Sanders. Not to mention, I've already brought this up. There are about 3 teams the Cowboys have had that everybody absolutely thought those teams were going to the Super Bowl, and Jerry Jones didn't step on that field last time I checked, just like Emmitt Smith said. No, the players just didn't get it done. 2007, when we were the number 1 seed against the New York Giants came into Dallas and beat us. 2014, when, what's his name, Dan Lambino or whatever his name was, called Dez Bryant's catch not a catch. If we beat the Green Bay Packers, I think that next game we might go on to maybe the Seattle Seahawks. And I believe the Cowboys probably go to the Super Bowl. They were just on that type of run. Then in 2016, on Dak Prescott and Zeke's rookie season, I mean, if it's not a miracle throw, a miracle catch, and a miracle field goal by the Green Bay Packers, we might have been having another conversation, because the Cowboys, again, have the number 1 seed, and the Cowboys would have had only 1 more game to get to the Super Bowl, and I believe they get there. There have been years, and there have been times when Jerry has put together good teams, and for whatever reason, fate had it, we just didn't get it done. But again, you can't make this argument with reasonable people, because everybody thinks the Cowboys are a joke. It's Jerry Jones' fault and it's Dak Prescott's fault. Now, when you think about this in the grand scheme of things, you may first take that statement as hyperbole, or maybe just something that Dak Prescott is saying. But if you really think about how good Dak Prescott has been against the NFC East, including against Jalen Hurts, when you think about what the NFC East, or what the entire NFC is going to look like this season, I truly believe the Cowboys will have one of the top 4 offenses. I think they'll have a top 6 or 7 offense in the league, with the addition of George Pickens and Kevontae Turpin playing more in the slot, and with Jaden Blue and what I think they're going to be able to pull off in the run game, and what Shoddy scheme is going to look like. They are going to be an absolute top offense. And so if you really look at this and do just a little bit of deep diving on this, Dak Prescott may actually not be that far off. Check this out. Dak Prescott has a career record of 33-8. 33-8. This includes a 9-4 record against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that Dak Prescott has in his mind, and I kind of have it in my mind too, that Dak Prescott healthy, and if Dak would have been healthy the whole year last year, I think the Cowboys make the playoffs. But I also think this year, with Brian Schottenheimer, even though it's his first year, new coaches, but when I look at all of the things that Jerry and Will McClay and Steven have done, the players they brought in, this team looks really good. I'm not worried about the Micah Parsons stuff. It's going to get solved. And this team is going to be extremely good going forward. When you really look at this, what Dak has been against the NFC East, 33-8, 9-4 against the Philadelphia Eagles. And then when you now look at what this NFC picture looked like last year, and then let's look at it this year, I think Dak Prescott, the more you look at this, Dak Prescott may be on to something. Let's look at this. So when you look at the regular season last year, and you look at the top 7 NFC teams, so it was Detroit, Philly, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles, Minnesota, Washington, and Green Bay. So when you think about that in the grand scheme of things, Dak Prescott is also thinking, had I been healthy the whole year, and we went down that easier stretch towards the end of the season, that we probably win at least 2 to 3 more games. And I believe, and I'm saying I think Dak believes, that the Cowboys would have been in this playoff race. So when you take that to this season, let's look at this real quick. So when you take that to this season and you look at the standings, so in the NFC East, Dallas, New York, Philly, Washington, I believe Dak Prescott believes the Cowboys can take the NFC East again. It has been years since there has been a repeat NFC East champion. I believe that the Washington Commanders are going to take a step back. Jaden Daniels is going to figure out what a lot of these quarterbacks figure out. You can come in here and you can have a first season like Dak Prescott, CJ Stroud, and others, and then the second season this league catches up with you and you don't quite look the same. I think it is very feasible that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. And I think Dak Prescott believes it too. And then when you look at the NFC North, it is more than likely going to be the Detroit Lions. And when you look at the NFC South, it is more than likely going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you look at the NFC West, to me, I just think the Rams are on a run. Their defensive front is incredible. I think the Rams are going to come out of the NFC West. So you're going to have your top 4 teams. You can throw in there anything you want to, maybe the Eagles being in there. I wouldn't be surprised if 3 teams from the NFC East make the playoffs, so you could get the Eagles, the Commanders. You might even can throw in the Green Bay Packers or the Vikings or whatever you want to do. But I don't think any of these other teams are going to make it, and maybe you could throw in the 49ers. But whatever the case may be, the Cowboys, if you think about it, the Cowboys are probably going to be one of the top 4 teams in the NFC East. And so when you think about, I believe the Detroit Lions this year are going to take a step backwards. The Cowboys may very well be better than the Detroit Lions. When you think about the NFC South, the Cowboys are going to be better than the Buccaneers. And when you look at the NFC West, the reality is, I think Dak Prescott has been looking at this the way I'm looking at it. If the Cowboys do what we think they can do and what the talent level they have on offense and what they have at I think the Cowboys are even talented on defense. I think they need a one-tech and a cornerback, but I still think they are talented on defense. When you add that all up in totality, I think Dak Prescott is saying something that people might not want to think about now, but I think we may be actually saying later. The Cowboys and the Rams are the best 2 teams in the NFC. It's easy to say it's Philadelphia that are Super Bowl champions, but we all know so many times these Super Bowl teams, they win a Super Bowl or they go to a Super Bowl and they fall off the boat the following season. We saw it happen with the Philadelphia Eagles. What was it? The Philadelphia Eagles in 2022 went to the Super Bowl. 2023, they fell off the boat. They flipped back in there in 2024. It is very feasible that Dak Prescott is onto something because the Cowboys and the Rams may very well be the best 2 teams in the NFC. So when Dak Prescott is saying to the Rams owner that we're going to see you in the NFC Championship game, I believe him. I believe him when you think about the logic. The Cowboys and the Rams may very well be, and not only may they be the best 2 teams, but when you look at the reasoning, they may very well be the 2 most explosive teams offensively in the NFC. We're going to see what Detroit looks like with a brand new offensive coordinator. But I don't think Ben Johnson, no. I think it's going to take him a year. I'm telling you, the San Francisco 49ers, they are not the same. When you start breaking this all down, in Tampa Bay, they really were not an offensive juggernaut in the first place. It is very feasible that the Cowboys will have the best offense in the NFC. Hands down. It's not like it's far-fetched. They have had the top 5 offense before. It's not far-fetched. And I'm telling you, when Dak Prescott is healthy, the Cowboys have been top 5 before offensively. They've been top 5 before. And I'm telling you, I think what Dak Prescott is saying is that he believes in himself. He believes in this team. He believes that they are better than what they showed last year, and I'm throwing that in the trash. I'm not even looking back. Mike McCarthy on a lame duck contract. It was insane what was going on last year. I'm telling you, Dak Prescott healthy with this team, they're going to be able to do some things. They're going to be able to do some things. And I'm not telling you they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not telling you they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I am telling you the NFC Championship game, it's It's just not that far-fetched when you really look at what I just showed you. It's not that far-fetched. Y'all tell me what you think. I know some of y'all gonna think I'm crazy for what I'm saying, but I'm telling you the truth. If you just do a little bit of deep diving on this, you'll realize, yeah, the Cowboys actually do have a chance to be the NFC or be in the NFC East Championship game, because the only team that has made a step forward is, well, the only two teams that have made a step forward is the Rams, based on what they were doing at the end of the season last year, and the Cowboys, based on the fact of bringing in George Pickens and some of the things that we're watching Brian Schottenheimer do. Yeah, it is very much feasible. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.